We are the 13, the first, the forgotten. Each of us serving a vital function to the survival of the universe. Each of us designated a prime and given a function to serve during the long march of infinity. Vector Prime. Vector Prime in the beginning. Hello, welcome to ALW Collectibles. Today I am excited to do this review. Today we are taking a look at Age of the Primes, Voyager Class 2025 Alpha Trion. And I have been excited to do this review since they announced this figure over a year ago. I have been wanting to get this one in my collection, especially since they showed the prototypes. And here it is. We have two Alpha Trions to look at. We have the Legacy, A Hero is Born 2-pack Alpha Trion for comparison. Because the Alpha Trion we're going to take a look at today is the young, pre-war Cybertronian form. So we're going to remove him for a minute. And here he is. And I'm going to be upfront and honest. I am excited for this thing. I've messed around with the figure a little bit, transformed him a few times, taken a good look at it. I'm going to be fair and objective like I try to be, but I really don't have many complaints about this one. I think it looks really sharp. Everybody's got a difference of opinion. As I always say, please let me know yours in the comments. I think he looks cool. Having said that, let's jump right in. This Alpha Trion, of course, was released this year in 2025 as part of the third wave of the Age of the Primes. And he is actually the 7th Prime I've gotten in my collection. And I think I mentioned this before, and if I hadn't, I do apologize. When I have all 13, I'm going to do a combination video, link all 13 together, and do a special video with all of them together as the pantheon of the gods of the Autobots and Decepticons. Having said that mouthful, there's a lot to cover with this guy. So this is what we get in the set. We, of course, get Alpha Trion himself. He comes in robot mode. I like to go from vehicle to robot to spend time to look at everything. You get the quill. You get the Autobot insignia, which serves a purpose. And you get the Covenant of Primus. I thought this was the Book of Primes, but it is actually the Covenant of Primus. So this is really cool accessory. And I think it looks really sharp. I love the coloration. The palette that they chose for all the colors looks really nice. I think it flows together nicely. Let's take a look first at the Covenant of Primus. This book does open and close. You got Ancient Cybertronian right here. Some nice detail work there. Crest symbol right here. These pages clip together, and that all clips together. A little bit of work right here. You do have a 5mm peg right here, and a tab right there. This, of course, is just the Autobot symbol with silver, and it is then translucent red with a. It's actually, I believe that's a 3mm peg. That's not exactly a 5, is it? Oh, I take it back. It is. I thought it was smaller. And then, of course, you get the writing quill. Nice molding on this. A little bit up here. 2 tab spots on the back and side. And you got Alpha Trion himself. And this is his vehicle mode. He's a Cybertronian jet. And what I really like is he is not a remold of a Scourge figure. This is a brand new mold. And I think it looks sharp. Do note, with accessories, these 2 little gray nubs are removable. They come uninstalled in the package. They're a 5mm peg. And you have to put them on. The instructions say to put them on the shoulders. You can actually put them anywhere on him that there is a 5mm peg. I just like him in the shoulders because that's the way they're supposed to be, and that actually adds to the look. I love the purple with the light purple here. the grayish silver purple. I don't know really what color they use that. Red for the canopy. Now, I like this open design back here. You can actually set a Titan Master here, and he will sit there nicely. So that looks really cool. I meant to grab one. I just didn't do it. The molding is incredible. I love how it clips together here. It looks very nice. And all of this will store on him. So this peg right here on the book, that peg on the leg, the quill, you'll see one peg here, and there's a notch cut on each side. You just pick a side. And you just plug that in. And this symbol does fit in here. We're just going to lightly set it in there. Only because, it is a pain in the butt to take it out afterwards. And luckily I did it softly. So that does sit in there. And during robot, I will put it back. But we're going to need it for display. Because it serves a function later. And now it won't come out. Alright, we're just going to be very careful like last time. I did do this video once, and that piece actually went flying, so I'm hoping not to have a repeat. But you can see it all hides on there nicely. So let's take that off. So a little bio on him before we get to the robot mode. Alpha Trion, also known as A3 and Sig Omega. That was a new name I never knew. That was actually officially from Hasbro. The history of Transformers. One of the oldest Transformers, part of the original 13 Primes. He was the historian, the records keeper. A mysterious person from Cybertron's history for modern Transformers. Low-key and very unassuming, but writing everything down in the Covenant of Primus. Forged a very strong bond with Optimus Prime and Elita 1. Like I said, I cobbled that together from different sources. I don't want to give too much information for people who don't know, but I want to give you enough so you know who he is. Having said that, let's transform this guy, and let me tell you, he looks good. Because this is going to show you one more accessory. This whole piece down here is actually a shield. And to remove that, you unclip one side, unclip the other, and this is tabbed and pegged in. When you get it in the packaging, it is like this. It looks like that in the packaging. For transformation, just for a note, because I kind of got lost with this, you have to open the shield up and flip it over onto the other side. That kind of took me a couple minutes to figure out, because my opinion, the directions weren't too clear on that. And this is how I'm going to leave it for now. But this is his shield and part of his cape. So now let's transform Alpha Trion. First thing I'm going to do is do these parts of the arms. They're tabbed in right here. And I'm going to go slow so you can just watch this video and rewind, and transform them back. This piece here, these kind of clip in. Right there. You're going to take this piece here, open that up. This piece here comes down. And then this piece here is going to lift up. Next, we're going to do the legs, just so we get the bottom part done. These two pieces on the sides are going to clip in. You're going to separate. You're going to rotate these to the back. So these little tabs are sticking out. Flip his foot forward. Flip his foot forward. And I was having trouble with that, so I'm going to use a cheat tool, a little pair of tweezers to flip those out. His heel spurs. And that's what he looks like currently. Still amazing balance. Next part, we're going to take this part here, where the shoulders are, and rotate that up, like so. And we're going to rotate the hips all the way around. Next, we're going to come to the back. This piece is going to come down and clip in. It does tab. We're going to take these pieces here and just flip them in, like so. This is going to come down over the top, and that's going to close. Next, we're going to come to the arm, rotate it up, flip out his hand, rotate it up, flip out his hand, bring his shoulders down, and bring the head up. And that is Alpha Trion in his robot mode now. Take away your gun, you don't need that for a minute. And we're going to do a little comparison of the two, old and young. And I think the two look really cool. So many similarities. Aesthetically looking, not just toy. But that looks really nice. I think that looks really sharp the way it looks. The face sculpt and kind of way the chest is laid out. The Autobot symbol in the middle. It really looks like the progression as he got older. Built up the body a little bit more. Like I said, this is the Legacy, as I drop them. Legacy, Heroes Born 2-pack. Alpha Trion, which I think complements the Age of the Prime really nice. As I told you I was going to drop him. I told you. Alright, let's take a look at this guy. He, of course, is based on his appearance in Transformers Generation 1 War Dawn. When you first see him with the aerial bots. And when he makes Optimus Prime out of Orion packs. Let's take a look. Like, I like the design. You have it up on the chest. The head is beautifully sculpted. The white mustache, the silver face, the blue eyes. It's got all the elements of Alpha Trion on there. I love the collar, how it reaches all the way around the head. You got red on the head as well. The artwork, detail work in the shoulders and in the arms looks really nice. They really went all out with this figure with the molding. Even the Autobot symbol looks nice in that position, and there's a slight bend in there so it looks curved. Again, the cockpit and top of the jet fit nicely on the back. Looks like it's a flowing cape the way it just starts to flare out. Articulation is pretty impressive with this guy. Head will go all the way around. We'll do a full exorcist. Plus, he can go forward and back. Pauldrons will move. Bicep rotation. Elbow bend. And wrist will go in and out. And his hands on both sides open up. Now, if you lift this piece up, I only do it, you can do it without it. Just kind of scrapes though. Full waist rotation. Thing you gotta be careful is he does have abdomen crunch too. So that's a new addition. Back kick, you do have to move this or it is in the way. And that is an impressive back kick. Front kick, these two move. These plates move. Nice. And he can do beyond the splits. He does have full thigh rotation. Decent knee bend. Ankle. And the toes and heel spur do move. So he is amazingly posable. So for accessories, we're going to use my little friend here again. We're going to be very gentle. That piece went flying last time, and I had to stop the video to look for it. And I keep pushing it back in. There we go. I stopped. So this was used in the episode Forever is a Long Time Coming, and it was called the Coder Remote, which became the Autobot symbol. And he's supposed to be able to hold it in his hand according to the instructions. There we go. You have to open his hand up fully, and he can do that. And of course, it stores right in his abdomen. You can put it anywhere there's a 5mm peg, really. That piece went missing for about 5 minutes, and I almost had a heart attack. He can hold the shield. 2 ways he can hold this shield. So in shield mode, I would suggest doing this. Transforming it yet again. He can hold it by the peg. Or flip that in. And you can plug it onto his forearm. And you'll notice another spot here, it does a double peg. Like so. And it has another function. So we're going to bring that peg to the back, and we're going to transform it yet again. We're going to come to his back, lift this up. I lift them both up just so it fits without any headache. The tab here and a peg there, tab, peg. Now it becomes part of his cape. So that looks really nice. Next, he can hold the Covenant of Primus. And I would suggest putting it in that hand, and I'm going to show you why. When you open it, it's going to open inward. If you put it in the other hand, it looks like he's opening a book from the outside. And then you can hold his quill. And this is what I thought was really cool, the way they did this. You tilt the head forward, and he looks like he's actually writing in the book. Really, really cool. And all of this can be stored in robot mode as well. On his back, you're going to lift this up. You're just going to tab the quill back in again, just like in jet mode. Oh no, it's giving me problems. There we go. Close that, and you're going to use that peg there and just plug his book into that. And there is Alpha Trion. With all the accessories, one more last look, old and young. And I think that looks really sharp. Couple differences that look very visually noticeable. I was trying to find the right words and I couldn't. But then again, the overall look, really cool. Let me know in the comments what you think about him. I think he looks sharp. Like I said, I'm probably going to display him writing in his book. But that's me. This has been ALW Collectibles. If you like what you see, hit the like button. Subscribe if you wish. Comments are always welcome. That's one of my complaints right there. How the book. And the only other complaint, before I forget, to be honest, is just how the head is so close to the front of the neck. I wish it was back just a little bit to give you a little bit of depth on the top. Other than that, those two, the way the book sits in that neck, I think it was a knockout of the park for me. As I was saying, this has been ALW Collectibles. If you like what you see, hit the like button. Subscribe if you wish. Comments are always welcome. I want to thank you to all the channel subscribers. I appreciate it very much. Let me know in the comments the first time you came across Alpha Trion and what you thought of him. And if you think the Age of the Prime toy actually represents what he should look like. You have a good day.